Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WildStar Wednesday, episode 13. We have a special guest with us this week. The one and only Jazzy Chua joins me via the Skype. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for
Good.
having me.
Oh, very excited to have you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy evening. I
Oh,
know,
yes.
from my understanding, I am the reason that the podcast will not go live. So,
That's right.
sorry,
Everyone can blame you.
everybody. You can all blame me. That's fine. But you know what? The live stream happened today or yesterday at the time of this posting, and they talked about a lot of interesting things. And holy crap, is it's pretty exciting. I think that the thing that excited me the most was talking about the the boss changes for world bosses and
Hmm.
how that actually affects the attunement process. Because I know in my last video, I talked about how some of the world bosses were just kind of tedious and really pointless. And hey, look at that. They're like, okay, so maybe some of the critiques and criticisms of the whole community, not just myself, was definitely right. And it was like, who wants to go back and kill Metal Maw for the 19th time? I mean, that's not very fun. So all your world bosses that you have the achievement for will now count towards the hunter quest for the attunement key process, which is just amazing. And I wanted to kind of congratulate Carbine for once again stepping up and being like, hey, we realize this problem. This is something that is going to be affected and going to be changed. What was your initial reaction to that there, Jazzy?
Um, I like it, but I don't like it because I have a new character that hasn't killed any of those world bosses now.
So
Switching
you
to the
actually have to
medic,
do it
obviously there
the
was
right
less
way. Yeah.
people when I was leveling, so I didn't get a chance to kill any world bosses. So I'm gonna have to go back and kill them all anyway at 50. So,
Well, you know what?
guess
That
the spell slinger's in a good spot though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would definitely agree. I want to touch base a little bit on the attunement process real quick because I know that you and me were having a Twitter battle last week saying that
Definitely.
the attunement is good the way it is. It does this, it does that, and I was like, no, it just takes too long. What are you crazy? And we'll be having a longer discussion about that in the future with Metalis, Jazzy, and a couple other people. And I kind of wanted to ask you, does this change your opinion about the attunement process at all? Because now you actually have to go through with your other character and kill all the world bosses and actually go through that step?
No, because I've always been a fan of attunements. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
to me, it's just another step in the process. I mean, honestly, I don't even see, going back and killing those bosses is a big deal
Right.
because people have shown already that a lot of, especially the lower level ones, can be soloed even. So to me, it's not that big a deal. It's kind of a little bit of an inconvenience, but nothing that I would, rage on the forums about by any means.
Oh, and there will be rage.
Always. There's
There
always
will be
rage. No one's
rage.
ever happy.
Speaking of the rage and the forums, there has been a lot of talk once the changes to the silver requirement to bronze was announced. They're like, oh well, what about all the players that did the silver stuff? Are they going to be getting anything cool? Well, Jen Gore did confirm that that will be happening, and we will be getting some sort of cool title or I don't know, whatever. I mean, I could care less because I did it and I have the achievement, so whatever. But were you one of those people that really cared about the silver level? Like, oh, look at what I did, kind of thing, or do you just like whatever? I don't care.
I think it's good to recognize people that put in the work, before it was easier. Kind of like WoW adopted that in Mista Pandaria, where they gave achievements that were called ahead of the curve,
Hmm.
basically where you completed the content before it was nerfed, essentially. So it's good to recognize, like, hey, I did this,
Right.
kind of something to show off. So I think it's cool. I think it's
Cool.
nice.
Yeah, I mean that's something that, like you said, World of Warcraft did. Like killed the original Nixie, or got through
Hmm.
max 40 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's something that Carbine obviously showed that they are listening to the community. And something I also want to kind of point out to that is again, I feel like I go back to this every week is community talk and kind of scolding you guys a little bit for being boobs because I myself have been a little bit negative over the past few weeks and trying to become a little bit more positive. And I can see that that does work, guys. The devs definitely
Definitely.
interact with you a lot more if you're positive and you have that creative and constructive feedback for them. So I would
Definitely.
again encourage you guys to make sure that the feedback that you're giving, and when you do give feedback, if you don't get a response from them right away, know that they are taking that into consideration, which obviously is very true just based on the silver level achievement and getting something special that that we don't know about. They haven't really fully decided that, but please be a mount. Please be a mount. Just saying, guys, be a mount. I see in World of Warcraft, I was like a huge mount collector, so like I had every mount except for
Yeah.
like the BlizzCon one. Stupid BlizzCon polar bear will evade me to this day, but that's okay. So like the lack of mounts is like, come on, more mounts. Let me. I just I want to be able to ride one of those weird monkey things that throw poop at you. Um,
Well, this is the thing too. Like, and I tell people this all the time. You can't always compare a game that has 10 years in to a
of
brand new
course
game.
not.
Even though it's, a newer generation of game, they're still starting out. There's like a lot of stuff they got to work out. I'm sure over time we'll see, achievement rewards and things like that. They give more like tangible things
Mhm.
like pets and mounts and stuff. So just don't give me any more boom boxes because I'm kind of over those.
I think I have
So
gotten fragments and that green dye probably 15 times over the last 25 boom boxes.
yeah, I
I'm like,
was
why?
I was one of that like top elite percent that actually got all of them because I'm obsessed with WildStar. I had 128 when I started. I'm down to like 29 or 28 now. And the best thing I have gotten is an epic die. Other than
Ugh.
that, it's been like all housing stuff and runes and signs, and I'm done.
One of my
I'm
guildies
just like,
gotten 2 mounts.
oh god.
He used the first one, then sold the other one for like 100 plat or something stupid.
I
I
hate
was
your
like,
friend.
what? What the hell? Well, he was also the same person. Do you remember the proto green drake that you could get in Sari Basin?
Mm-hmm.
He got
Yeah.
that his third egg.
Oh my god.
It took me 347 eggs to get that stupid thing.
Holy cow.
Most dedication I've ever spent on one stupid single item. But
That's
I'm
crazy.
actually really grateful Carbine doesn't do that because that would drive me insane because I'm a completionist and I have to do everything.
Yeah.
Um, so like right now, I'm actually going back to all the smaller, lower level zones and doing all the quests that I skipped because I wanted to get to 50 really quick. And I'm kind of regretting that. But back to news here. And see, this show is really different with two people because I'm like, hey, I have something to talk to. This is cool. I don't feel completely crazy. And
We go off on our tangents too. No
yes, you
worries.
do. It's something that I also want to address is they said that they are going to add some special key into the last boss of Genetic Archives. Jazzy, why don't you go ahead and talk about it a little bit?
So it's called the Pristine Genesis key. I tried to get some clarification on it, so I'm not 100% actually on how it works. But what they said when they were talking about it was that it's an item that'll drop off the last boss in Genetic Archives, and I can
Mm-hmm.
never say the name right, Omina or
Omana,
something.
I think it's pronounced Omana because there's like 16 different M's in that word,
Yeah,
so
it's H's and M's and N's for days.
pretty much.
Phenomena, that's what we call it in the guild, because
Phenomena.
that's what it looks like.
It is.
But it's an item one only drops off of that boss, and basically they said it will complete your attunement through Datascape. Now, I tried to get some clarification on it to ask if like it was soulbound or what was the first thing I asked. And then the second thing I tried to go on Twitter, which I haven't gotten a response yet from Jen Gordy, was if they meant that, obviously you've done most of the attunement to that point if you're killing that boss.
Mm-hmm.
If they meant that after that, like you'd just be done, or if they meant that that item could be given to someone who's never touched the attunement and it'll just complete all of it.
Probably
Which
both, honestly.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No, I mean, like it depends on what the attunement for datascape is. From
Yeah.
my understanding, it's completing all the objectives in Genetic Archives plus, plus the 100 or so, whatever they're called, the primal
Yeah.
thingies.
The primal patterns.
So I mean, like honestly, I'm okay with that because it allows them to progress a little bit further into the game without having to grind things. But I do see your point because it doesn't allow them to get the experience needed to
Yeah.
do the 40 mans. Now, I mean, if we have a guild of 20 people and they get attuned to Datascape quickly, and we're able to. Well, I mean, plus, I mean, you have to remember, if they get to the last boss, they're obviously going to have some experience already.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I guess on that point, it's okay. I don't really see a problem with it. But again, your point definitely still stands. Is it might not be the
But
best thing to give a new, like a brand new raid member.
that's why I didn't really understand, because if it works, the way I said in the first place, where it just kind of completes your attunement through Datascape,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't really make sense that it even exists,
Right.
because you've done most of the hard work. Like, the only thing left, I think there's like collecting the primal patterns,
Mm-hmm.
there's a mini boss kill, and then a little quest, and then you're good. Like, that's pretty much it.
Right. Right.
So it's kind of not really saving much. But then if it goes the other way, I'm definitely not okay with that one. If it's just, it removes it completely, that I'm not okay with that at all.
I'm I
So,
I don't know how Datascape attunement works, because I have yet to actually be there, and I haven't actually read up on it, because my guild doesn't have 40 people even ready yet. We have 20, and we just started raiding, and we'd server transferred, and all this stuff happened, and blah. So that actually brings us to our next topic that I want to touch on real quick, is the mega servers. And this was a huge deal for you and your guild, I know, and
yeah.
also for my guild. And we talked about it. Okay, what server do you want to go to on? And we ultimately decided on Pergo, which is another PvP server. And I know you were the reason that Cougar actually decided to allow players to go from a PvP realm to a PvE realm, and vice versa. And explain a little bit more on why you decided to go that way.
I don't know if I was the reason. I mean, you could always do that. But what happened, the reason we were talking to Cougar is our server actually got broken for doing that.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of had to push him to fix our server, but that's why he was in contact with us. But basically, our guild, we kind of sat down when we were all talking about, okay, what do we want to do? Where do we want to go? Myself and a few other people that I've been playing with for a long time decided that we didn't want to be on a PvP mega server, simply because we had dealt with the issues at launch where it was just seemed like constant griefing and constantly people getting ganked. And I know it's a PvP server and that's supposed to happen, but the people that were there weren't really 100% wanting to be there. They were kind of there because I
Okay.
said, let's go there. So it basically came down to, once we had the opportunity, we wanted to go ahead and move the other direction when it was going to kind of be a similar situation with just a bunch of people
Okay.
again.
Right.
So that's why we decided to go with PvE.
Oh, I mean that's completely fair. I mean, if you're focused more on the end game content, so to speak, and rather not just world
Mhm.
PvP. I mean, you're a content creator as well, so you have to be able to just be able to sit down and record things without the fear of a stalker going, "Hi, impale, you're
Yeah,
dead." So,
definitely.
but you play
But
Manic in your OP now, so it's okay.
but what our guild actually did is, we took our guild and we're actually a part of a larger multi-gaming clan. So WildStar is a division of that, and we took our division and split it up into two battalions, basically. So we actually have a guild on the PvP and on the PvE.
Okay.
So
So I'm actually looking at Twitter, and Jen Gordy said that she's going to get an answer for you, so she can give you the correct info. And I'm
nice.
sure that you will be talking about that on your show, which is This Week in WildStar. Your YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/jazzy_chua, correct?
No,
No? It's not?
it's not. That's actually taken, I believe. I think I tried to, and oddly enough, I think it's taken. No, it's youtube.com/ChrissyTeeny56.
Wow, that's just completely the
I
opposite
know. I've
of.
had that channel for like ever. It was
Well,
one of the
that's
first
okay.
YouTube channels.
That's all right. No
So
worries. Okay.
I'll change
And
it someday.
where can we find you on Twitter, social media, and your show exactly as well?
Yeah, easy way to search for me if you can't find ChrissyTeeny56 is just look for This Week in WildStar on YouTube.
Hmm.
You'll find me. It says Jazzy. It's my channel. On Twitter, I'm at Jazzy_Chua. And on Twitch at Jazzy_Chua, twitch.tv, Jazzy_Chua.
Nice. And you recently just put your show up on iTunes.
iTunes,
And
yes.
your
And
show is
Stitcher,
nice, nice. Your show's weekly, right?
bi-weekly,
Bi-weekly. Okay, so
every other week.
Okay, so bi-weekly, and it's a great show. Definitely give that a listen and a watch. Both help her out tremendously. Once again, guys, thank you very much for listening. It's been a little bit longer show, but that's because we had a guest, and it was a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this kind of banter back and forth. And next week we'll be going back to just me talking to myself and sounding like a crazy person. So that sounds awesome too. Once again, Jen Gordy, thank you very much for being on the Nexus report. A lot of really good information. Very, very much enjoyed that. And Tony, it does not count if people heal you and you killed Frost. Just want to point that out there. It was funny, but doesn't count, man. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all, guys. God bless. Have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or evening, and we'll see you in Nexus. Bye.
See ya.